Yeah, they should be able to hear us now.
Yeah, it's registering.
Hello! Can you guys hear us? You can hear us now. Isn't that lovely? Sorry for the technical difficulty. Welcome to Ask the Unicorn. I'm Ahura Z, and this is my stalwart companion, my sidekick, Nirakazi.
Hello, today's October 20. No, today's October 19th. I'm tired. Leave me alone.
Today's October.
Today's October 19th, 2016, and it is episode 104.
And how are you all this evening?
Tired.
I hope that you all had a good day, and I hope that you enjoyed this wonderful sunset that was out, and the sun day, rise, and all that good stuff that has to do with the sun today. The leaves were really, really pretty today. And I'm hoping for a good show this evening. The name of the show is Ask the Unicorn. For those of you that have just tuned in, I'm Ahura Z, the host of the show. I answer questions of a metaphysical, paranormal, mystical, and spiritual nature. However, there are two types of questions that I do not answer. That is whether or not someone's going to die or whether or not someone's cheating. If you want to deal with those kind of questions, it's best that you deal with the people that you are asking about. Now, beyond that, any question is fair game as long as we can all benefit from it and that we all can reach a good and positive place by the end of the show. Before I begin, I'd like to say, put a shout out to all of the independent filmmakers that are in Maine and the New England area. There are Alan Dillingham, Paco Seth Roberts, who's also a great photographer, and there are a whole host of people in New England, including myself, that is an independent filmmaker. My film is Valkyrie, coming out very shortly, and I'm sure that you all will enjoy it. We work very diligently to bring you all wonderful entertainment. Now, there's a special announcement I'd like to make, and that is at October 29th and 30th, we will be hosting at the Kiwanis Beach a zombie apocalypse night. Make it to the snack shack. And for those of you that would like to be zombies and participate in this, you can come to the Kiwanis Beach, and that's in Standish, Maine. And if you get there, the event starts at 6:30, but if you get there about 4 or so, we'll make you up as a zombie. You can participate, scare all the kids, and have a really good time. There'll be things to eat there, and lots of wonderful people, and it promises to be a great event. So I hope that you all will come out on one or both of those 2 nights. And we had a great time last year, and I'm looking for an even better time this year. Okay, so you can look us up on Facebook. That is Kiwanis Zombie Apocalypse Night, and you can check it out. We have a whole little video for you all to get you in with a Halloween spirit. Okay, beyond that, I don't have a lot to rant about today, as I'm not going to talk too much about the stupid elections, and I'm not going to talk too much about all of the negativity that's going on in this world at the moment. You know, you got enough people concentrating on that. I'd like to concentrate on some of the positivity that is happening. Today was a beautiful day, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow, and hopefully that'll be a beautiful day as well. What you all should concentrate on is some of the positive things that are going on in your lives, the positive people that happen to be part of your life. It's a good time for you to decide to build your own kingdom, you know, or your queendom, you know, whatever, and have those people in your world that are going to do you some good, that are going to grow along with you, that are going to evolve. Okay, so without further ado, let's get on with the show. The unicorn is in. I'm listening.
Maven says hi.
Hi, Maven. How you doing?
Tabari and Michelle are on.
Tabari, Michelle.
We haven't seen Maven.
I hope that you all are doing well. And are there any questions?
No questions yet.
No questions as of yet. However, I'm hoping that you all will ask some questions so that I can get into some things this evening. I've been doing the fine-tuning editing or fine work editing on Valkyrie, and it's looking really, really good. Once again, I like to say editing is a very lonely job. but it's well worth it and is actually quite rewarding. So hats off to all of the wonderful editors of the world. You guys have my respect. You guys and girls have my ultimate respect. Um, Valkyr is the story of women that have been taken from different time periods and gathered by fate and given the opportunity to either meet their fate or be transformed and trained as Valkyrie and save the planet from the nasty aliens. Well, they're called the Zendul. And these women are taken from different time periods, all different walks of life, all different races, well, as many as I can get. It's kind of a little difficult to hear. But for those of you that are interested in film, let me know, and I'm sure that I can find a place for you in film. All right, so we get anything yet?
Maven says, I miss... What? I very much miss you. There it goes. She says,
We miss you very much too,
I very much
sweetheart.
miss you. I was like, what?
Very much miss you too. But we were hoping to actually get to see you this year. That's kind of pathetic when you say, "Oh, we were hoping to get to see you this year." And maybe we will. It'll be beautiful. We have a great time. But we'll get to see you tomorrow night on Skype. So
We will.
yeah. So, you get anything yet?
No, that's it.
Okay, for those of you that did not know, the name of the show is actually called Ask the Unicorn, myself being the unicorn, and you will ask me questions. However, the more questions you ask, the more I get to teach, and I enjoy teaching. What is that?
A video.
Of what?
A hummingbird.
Oh, tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, while we're waiting for that, I'm watching a pretty good show. At first, I didn't think it was going to be pretty good, but it turned out very, very good. It's called Dark Matter. I liked the first season, and the second season has shaped up nicely. It was kind of a bummer because I just binged on it, and now I'm like it's at episode 12, which means there's only 12 and 13 left, to the season. So which means I have to wait another whole year for the next season to come out, and that's going to be kind of a bummer. I have to applaud this show, and I figured out why, I like the style of it is because it was done by the same people that did Stargate and Stargate Atlantis, and that's pretty cool. Some of the same characters or the same people are in the shows, not the same characters, although there's not much you can do with the character that played Rodney, other than make him a really eccentric, spastic, smart guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Dr. Weir's in this one too.
I saw her.
Yeah.
She has aged.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, it's been so many years. I mean, next I'm just expecting for Chris Judge to show up. And
Ooh, I wonder if he's on it.
And Amanda Tapping, to show up. These are some of the good shows. I love TV series. I don't know if you guys do. Some of the TV series that I watch kind of turned me off. Like I got turned off of Walking Dead a long time ago. Love the prosthetic work, and the show is a decent show, but it's just a tiny bit too racially limiting for me. And no, it was a lot of bit too racially limiting for me. And let's say I liked Arrow, and they utterly failed that series. You have failed that series. It started off so great, and then all of a sudden, it just turned into a soap opera. Same with Flash, and I think they tried to do it with Jessica Jones, and I hope they don't. And then they tried to do it with Luke Cage, and I hope they don't. iZombie would have been okay, except for it turned into a total.
Oh my god, it was such a freaking estrogen-filled.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I don't know why people think that kind of thing is cool. It really is not. I mean, it's just as boring as, saying something that's a sausage party. I really don't want to see that either. It's just, when they start messing up shows that start off really, really good, putting a bunch of emotional crap in it. If you're looking at a superhero thing, the last thing you want to see is some superhero woman that's all powerful and strong, and all of a sudden she turns into an emotional weakling. It just doesn't hit me right at all. I don't want to see it at all. Now, one thing I am so excited about is the movie Resident Evil that's coming out, the new Resident Evil that's coming out. Although, I'm kind of sick of Mila Jovovich. Mila Jovovich. I get really tired of her. I mean, her character had nothing to do with the games at all. I don't even know why they put her in the movie in the first place. She kind of weakened it. And she's still weakening it. All she's doing is being ultraviolet in Resident Evil, only ultraviolet kind of grungy. Other than that, like I said, the graphics are wonderful. I think the story would be great if they didn't make it such a, if they didn't make it so, what's the word I'm looking for? Lame. Although there is one movie that I'm waiting for, and I can't remember the name of it, but it's with Will Smith, and Helen Mirren is in it. I really like Helen Mirren. She's awesome.
She's a riot.
She is absolutely awesome. For those of you that have not seen, was it the 1,000 Step? Was it the one that she was in, the food one? Journey. 1,000-foot journey, something like that. 100-foot journey. It was really quite awesome. It was really good. Helen Mirren is shoot, I could be best friends with Helen Mirren. She's just really cool. Just like the other lady.
Yeah, the 100-foot journey.
100-foot journey, yeah. You might check that movie out. It's actually quite good. Some of the Marvel movies that are coming, they're doing a pretty cool thing with the Marvel things. I think I wasn't too much into the bromance with Captain America and Iron Man and Bucky. And the Winter Soldier
person,
guy.
not the dog.
Yeah, Winter Soldier. I really do. I'm sure that it's supposed to be really, politically correct to be all, bromancy, but no, not into bromances at all. Not even a tiny bit. It was all cool, and then it was like between Captain America and the Winter Soldier, it was like, you had me at hello.
Collateral Beauty is what it's called.
Collateral Beauty?
Yeah, Will Smith and Helen Mirren.
Yeah.
Coming out in December.
Collateral Beauty, look out for that. It's actually quite good. I saw the previews and trailers of it. It's actually pretty good from what I saw. I know the Doctor Strange is coming out with what's his name, Benedict Cumberbatch. That guy is hilarious, but he looks like he could fit the part. He could fit the part pretty good. Except for I don't agree with the whole, what's that lady who played the Ice Queen in Aslan? What's her name? Kind of androgynous looking. They have her playing one of the ancients from the comic books, which are old Asian guys, but they made her one of the, they put prosthetics on her face to make her look Asian. I can't really deal with that too much. Anyway, I'm talking a lot about the films. Are there any questions yet at all?
Yeah. We have a question from guest 923.
Hello.
Hi Z, I met someone recently who I strongly connect with, and this person has already professed their love to me. So I guess my question is in relationship to your thoughts on love at first sight and how to know if what you or the other person are feeling is real.
And then you wouldn't have to ask someone.
That's between you and that person.
Yeah. If that's what you feel, then that's what you feel. You don't need verification for such things. I mean, I think that we complicate things a great deal by second and third guessing ourselves. If you feel like you fell in love with this person at first sight, um, at least see it out, see it through. I mean, if that person has already professed their love with you, you have to find out what their motivations are. But it should come to you. Do you feel the same way? If you don't feel the same way, then why even deal with it? Why even go that direction or even wondering about it? You can't do something just because somebody else is good. There's a lot of that kind of mess out there. Some person will go up to another person and say, we're soulmates and I know we are. And the other person is like, no, we're not. And this person is going, well, I can see it. You don't understand it, but I see it. And that doesn't do anybody any good at all. But if there's something that you feel, some kind of connection with this person, then it warrants you to at least investigate it without, uh, finding out from someone else if what you're feeling is real. I mean, there's an old saying that's really quite true. If you have to ask me if someone is your soulmate, then the answer is no. Period. You should know that within yourself. I mean, you know how chocolate tastes to you. You can't eat the chocolate and ask someone else, does that taste good to me? That's something that you would have to, really, look inside yourself to decide. But do I believe in love at first sight? Of course I do. Of course I do. Do I believe that people can find each other just like that? Of course I do. And stay together? Of course I do. If that's what you're feeling, then that's what you're feeling. You don't need anybody else's permission or verification. So I hope that helps you out. Now, if you have second thoughts, and if it's not you that's feeling all of this, and this other person is saying that they've already professed their love to you, but you don't feel the same way, my suggestion for you would be to turn around, walk away from that person very quickly until you can figure out what you want. Don't go getting yourself into something because you're feeling because someone else has feelings that you're supposed to have feelings yourself. Don't get into that. You wait until you have the feelings. If you never have the feelings, then why even waste your time? And that's exactly how I feel about it. So again, I hope that helps you out. All right, what else have you got?
Shayna and Lucia are on. They both say hi. Shayna
Hello.
says, hi, Ahura, cousin Sinari. I'm at work in the bathroom watching. Love y'all.
Love you too.
Guest 422 has a question. How do you keep spirits out of your house? I have some spirits that always come in and out of my house.
Well, you'll have to learn how to seal your house against such activity. If you don't know how to seal your house against such activity, then you find someone who can. There's a lot to sealing your house. If anyone just gives you this one blanket answer, we'll do this and it'll seal the spirits out of your house, they have no idea what they're talking about. What I can tell you is there's a way to cut down on astral emanations. And one way that you can do that, one simple way, is to get just a little bit of like a quarter cup of vinegar, clear vinegar, and about 2 tablespoons of sea salt or salt, regular salt. Mix it into a kind of a loose paste and put it in a glass container and just put it someplace in the place where it won't be disturbed, and it will cut down astral emanations. That is not proof against any kind of a spiritual thing, or a spirit being there, but it does cut down the emanation. So it won't be as strong, and it would be so that you can contain it so that you can do something else. But my suggestion is for you to learn from someone that can actually teach you how to do such things. I teach those classes, but if you're not local, it really wouldn't do you any good to know that unless you're willing to take the classes over the internet, which I also do on Skype. But these things take time. You can learn how to do something, or at least read how to do something and try to do it. You might have some success with it, but it actually does take training, because you have to actually have the confidence to deal with such matters. But there's no easy way to do it. There's no quick remedy. So if you're interested in classes, you can give us a call, or you can email us at www.unicorn-code.com, and we will be able to accommodate you and set you up with classes. There are other things. You can have white candles that you sleep with, which will further cut down astral emanation so that you won't really get too much activity unless it's a very powerful spiritual emanation. But most things are very simple. So I hope that helps you out. Oh, by the way, you hear a lot of people talking about sage. Let me put something really, really straight with you people, okay? Sage is a good thing. It's a very good thing. But sage is temporal. It doesn't last a long time. It lasts for about as long as the sage is actually burning. You can't expect to, you hear people talking all of the time or really don't have much of a clue as to what they're talking about. Sage is ceremonial. That means if you're doing a ceremony in which you're using sage for the duration that you are doing that ceremony and you have that sage burning, it will be very, very effective. True. However, when the smoke clears and the sage is gone, it will dissipate. And so will the influence of it, unless you have figured out another way to keep these emanations at bay. But don't kid yourself. You see people with all these braids of sweetgrass, where the sweetgrass is supposed to be burned. You see all of the things of sage, and you're saying, I have all of this smudging that I smudged and stuff. You can have sage around, and that offers you some protective so long as the sage is alive and living. But other than that, it needs to be burned. And then you burn it. If you keep sage burning in your home forever and ever and ever, you might get much of the effect of it forever and ever and ever. There are other methods. There's rue, there's sandalwood, there's copal, there's benzene, there's finding certain types of stones such as fluorite, malachite, things of that nature, amethyst. And they offer a lot of protection, and garnet, things like that. There's also different metals that you can get, and you can have charged to protect certain talismans that you will make. But again, you'd have to learn how to do that. And that means that you're going to have to take some classes or have some training in order for you to do it. But it is very effective. There are certain prayers and chants that work a lot better. And you'll still have to get training to do that. There are certain protective oils that you can wear. You can put them around the house, but there are sealing ceremonies that last for a very, very long time, and they're cumulative. You'll have to learn how to do this. So whenever you're ready, let us know. Hope that helps you. What else have you got?
Shayna says, can you define ghost for me?
Yes, a ghost is a ghost is a remnant of that which was. In other words, it's like an energy signature of something that was. There are ghosts all over the place. Okay, let's put it like this. When you see a snail shell or a snail, and you've seen the trail that the snail has left behind, that's actually a ghost. Okay, that was a snail that left that trail, or it left its shell. So when you see a ghost, usually a ghost is just the image or the energy signature of a person or animal that was alive or in a body and is no longer in a body, because going over a pattern. And sometimes they'll have a very heavy energy print. Something will have happened that will leave a very distinctive print of energy. That is a ghost. Okay, a ghost is something you don't really interact with, nor does it interact with you. Now, there is a difference between a ghost and a spirit. A spirit is actually the spiritual entity that inhabited the body, that will deal with you, that can deal with you, and that you can deal with. A ghost is merely a concentrated energy form. Now, it can be movable, it can move, but usually it's because there's a lot of energy concentrated in a certain pattern that just repeats itself. So it leaves behind an echo. So you might call the ghost image an echo, okay, of what was. Okay, there are two different things. There's a ghost, there's a spirit. The spirit is the actual being. Whether it has a body or doesn't have a body, it is the actual being, the actual spiritual entity. A ghost is the energy of that spiritual entity that is not now. And it may take time for it to dissipate, but eventually it will dissipate. So there are lots of ghost images that you'll see all the time. And people get very excited about the ghost images. I never really get excited about the ghost images because there's not much you can do with them. I've seen them all my life, so why be excited about it? Oh, look, it's a ghost image of something. It's a ghost. That's what it is, the ghost. The ghost that holds up a lantern all the time, or walks a certain stretch of a railroad, or walks up and down the stairs. Every night I hear these footsteps, and they walk up and down the stairs, and I went and I saw this. And it's the same thing that happens every night between this time and this time. That is a ghost. Okay? That is the ghost that you are not going to be able to interact with. You have anybody you want at your home trying to interact with that ghost that just walks back and forth every single night, the same thing. And they will sit there doing their little thing with their electrospectrophone things, asking silly questions like, is there anybody here? Does anyone here have something to say? Things of that nature, which is actually quite ridiculous and disrespectful. If you know that there's a spiritual entity someplace, why are you asking if someone wants to say anything? Okay. So, yeah, that's a ghost image. Now remember, the spirit is something that you actually talk to. And it can talk with you. It can communicate with you. It can interact with you. The only difference between you and that spiritual entity is this physical form. If you don't have the physical form, then that would make you a spirit. Period. Now, you may leave behind an energy signature, and you people, we walk into people's energy signatures all the time. You get people are having this heated argument someplace, and then you walk into the room and you begin to feel agitated as if you're the one that's having that argument. Well, you just stepped into their ghost that they left behind, albeit not a very high power ghost, but it is for all intents and purposes a ghost. Okay. Now, there's other things like when a really traumatic event happens, that leaves behind a ghost. And a ghost that will be concentrated. And you also, if you walked over to places in Japan, you might find all kinds of ghosts. Seriously. In fact, I've been to places where there were tons of ghosts, and I knew that I couldn't really interact with them, but hidden among those ghosts, there are spirits, and different types of spirits. But they are nevertheless spirits, and that we need to deal with something else that people talk about. And one of the things that they talk about is these, their orbs that people see all the time, and they always insist, well, it has to be a person that's an orb. Did it ever dawn on somebody that it could be a bug or a bird or a cat, a rabbit, anything else, Contrary to popular belief, animals, bugs, other things do have souls. Yes, they do. They're not just these automatons that walk around unless they've been those little nano things created by the government. But other than that, they all have souls. And you may have witnessed a soul flying around or moving around.
David says hi. And he says,
hey, David.
That's interesting. So as we live, do we leave our own ghosts around in certain places? For instance, yes, you do. I used to work at this one job a few years back, and I used to see either a ghost or a spirit around the place. However, I had a dream a while back that I was there again, and it was, as far as I know, current day. Is it possible I left a ghost trail behind there?
That is very possible, and so did other people. Leave ghost trails behind. You do it all the time, especially, if you have lived in a place and you grew up in this place, there's bound to be energy signatures of you all over the place in that particular space until someone clears them out. Of course, there's a way to expedite the dissipation of the energy, but Sometimes it can take years or even decades. And then when the person starts coming in and expending energy, it will almost refuel the ghost image. So like here, someone, I think one of the funniest things that I've heard is that this particular place is haunted, but there hasn't been any activity in it in 30 years. And then as soon as someone moved in, there's activity. Of course. But how would you know that there's not activity if you weren't there? You know, you hear all kinds of things in my line of work, all kinds of things. Like I told this person that I had met over 150 different incarnations of Dracula. And Jesus, thousands of women who all believe that they were Cleopatra or are Cleopatra. And that's fine. So all of them are little skinny 13-year-old African girls. No, Cleopatra did not look like Elizabeth Taylor at all. Just a thought.
Co says, I saw one ghost images as a kid, a horse kicking its back legs, and it scared me a lot as I was a kid. As a kid.
Okay, that would make sense. There are a lot of horses that are still running free in the fields that you may catch a glimpse of from time to time that were there, that were alive. Even in the different hospitals you can go and you can see different people there. Hospitals are full of people that have just lost their bodies or are still, they've lost their bodies a long time ago and they're hanging around and still being doctors and still being nurses, still helping patients. I can tell you that.
Yep.
You know, so like I said, a ghost is something you can interact with or cannot interact with. A spirit is something you can interact with. So I hope that helps you out, Shana.
We have a question from Lucia.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to know about. He says, I was hiking the other evening and a butterfly flew up to my forehead, then flew over my head. What meaning do you draw from this? Thanks in advance.
See, I think we had a talk about butterflies before. Butterfly that flew up to your forehead, depending on where it was on your forehead, is telling you that you were blessed, and then flew over your forehead. Flew over your head means that there's a message for you. Do you remember the color of the butterfly? The color matters. These are the things you have to take into consideration. Not just the fact that it landed on you, but the fact that this particular butterfly with the colors that it was landed on your forehead and then flew over your head. All these things do matter. So what do you got?
We have a question from Dorkfish. She says, "Hey Z, what's up with the squirrels? I'm going to sound nuts, but there's this one squirrel outside squawking, and I make. She says she makes noises, and if he's outside and I don't make noises, what?
Shelly's being Shelly.
Yeah.
It means you should feed it nuts. So open up your head and reach in there and get a bunch of. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Pretty much, it barks at her and tries to get her attention until she answers.
Well, you fed it nuts, right? So of course it's trying to get your attention. Were you trying to lure a squirrel into where you live now? Shelly was known for luring cats. And then she eats them. I'm just kidding.
Question from Kelly.
Hey, Kel.
She says, hey, so I have a question.
Okay.
She says, a few weeks back I had some zombie dreams. She says, you were in it, and she says, I was making a survival horror game called The Feed, and she was consulting you. And she was consulting you and Sinari and making music, doing the soundtrack for it.
Okay.
The main character was some woman with a dog. During the game, her friend named Leonia died, and she was very troubled and went to bed. At some point, when working on the game, I became the woman and was attacked by something that did not look like a zombie on the bed. I can't even exactly describe what it looked like. I forgot entirely, but it was terrifying. I fought it off of me by kicking repeatedly, and it was trying to choke me. I woke up from what felt like an attack, and my neck was numb and tingling for 15 minutes, and it felt very real. What the heck was that about? It felt like claws or something.
Sounds like you were in the astral realm. You inadvertently went to the astral and got attacked. Oh, we know that you do that from time to time, though. So you might want to put your grounding things back in motion. Okay, staying grounded. It helps. So you just slipped into the astral realm. You know how to get yourself out, and you also know how to keep yourself out. So keep up with your disciplines, and you should be fine.
Lucia says the butterfly is yellow.
Yellow, intelligence, flew on your head. Well, that's one, either delivering a blessing of intelligence or telling you to use your intelligence. Remember, you belong to Raphael's court. Since you belong to Raphael's court, which does have to do with yellow, it means that you should get some help in the project that you are beginning. That yellow, which represents beginning. So also as well as intelligence. So playing footsie with you.
Ew. Not this foot.
So I hope that helps you out. That has a message of intelligence. Let's see. You're dealing with intelligence, speed, communication, and clarity. So you might think of those things. Yellow also represents action or activity. Excuse me, not action, but activity. So it sounds like your mind is in order here. So think about a subject that you're dealing with at the moment. Just use your intelligence. You should get through it. Okay, what else have you got? Hope that helps you out, Alicia. So Shayna's turned into the yoga queen.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Does she work in a yoga place?
No, she does yoga. She does yoga every day.
Well, all right then.
Totally every day. So what else have you got?
That's all I have. Shelly says, have a good night. Might see you guys at the bakery tomorrow night.
Awesome. Do hope to see you. Now, what's tomorrow? Thursday? Thursday.
Yes.
Okay. So remember, if you want to take classes, if you're interested in developing yourself psychically, or you have a gift that you want to develop, you should give us a call at area code 207-347-5686, and please leave a message when you do call. And www.unicorn-cove.com, and then we can discuss with your class schedule and what classes are going to be the best for you. Like I said, I do teach, but I don't do this for free. This is my job. This is my vocation. It's not my hobby. So, what else have you got?
Sheena says, like I know my guides, I know when spirits come to me, but what is a specific key to know when a ghost is coming in? If I don't like a certain entity, I just shut it off.
Well, if it's a ghost, then it will come in. If it is a spirit, then it will. And there's only one or two ways for you to know that, and that's to question the entity before it even arrives. But if you're in the way of your condition, being a medium, sometimes you have to, after you're done dealing with that entity, is you have to let it go. You have to get it out and all the way out. One way you can know is by the feeling that it projects before you even get to the point of working with it. Because you can tell them, no, I'm not working with you at this time. And you're well within your rights to do that as a spiritualist or as a medium. Okay, what else have we got?
That's it.
Okay, so if there's any topic that you all would like to talk about, I am open and listening. So get your questions. I told you guys you should write your questions down because my energy has a way of like wiping out a person's question that you just try to keep in their heads. And remember, tell your friends about the show. The more questions I get, the more I get to teach. What was that you were just looking at? What was that you were just looking at?
Books.
Oh, different books.
I seem to be reading a lot lately. I don't know why.
Because sometimes reading is fundamental.
I don't know.
It is. Kazi loves to read.
No, I don't love to read. It's just been happening lately.
She's on an iRobot kick. She's reading the works of Isaac Asimov.
No, I stopped reading The Caves of Steel because it was turning into a... I didn't like the main character. He was so boring.
Well, you have to wait.
He was so boring and dry. I couldn't stand a dry, boring character.
Why? And what's wrong with being dry and boring?
The robot was more entertaining than he was, and it wasn't about the robot. It was about...
It never is. That's the whole point.
That's why iRobot was awesome, because it was about robots.
Yep.
But The Caves of Steel was boring. It was a murder mystery. Who done it? Who killed this robot? And the detective was a dry, stick in the mud character.
Yeah, well, that was supposed to be Will Smith's character, but
Don't get me started on that movie.
there's a lot of movies I have a bone to pick with, like Moana, and you all like Disney, and that's great, but Moana is an insult. It's an insult to Hawaiian people. It's exploitation of Hawaiian culture, using someone who's not even freaking Hawaiian as the god Maui, and they made him look like some hippopotamus ape. That's just not cool. I'm sorry. I mean, if it was Hercules, Zeus, Pluto, Hermes, Ares, all of them, they're all built in, like bodybuilders and slim-waisted and very, good-looking features. And then they had to take a Hawaiian god and make him look like a stupid caricature.
Cross-Polynesian. He's Polynesian because Maui.
Yeah, I know.
In Maui land.
But the girl's supposed to be Hawaiian. I mean, it's still insulting any way you put it. And if I had The Rock right here, I'd tell him about himself for taking that role. I would sincerely tell him. And you know what? This eyebrow is real. His is practiced. So I have the people's eyebrow. Thank you.
Whatever. Don't even compare yourself to him.
Thank you, because I'm so much better than he is.
No, you can't compare yourself to my future husband.
Whatever.
That's just freaking weird.
I told you, you have to turn into a big-nosed boy. He wouldn't like you.
Whatever. We have a question from Michelle. She says, "Hi, Z, Kazi, Sinari. This morning while sitting in my car, there was a knock on my window. 3 knocks. Nobody was there. Any thoughts?"
Yep, that's a good thing. Good message. 2 knocks, leave it alone. 3 knocks, it's a message. It's a good message. So, good tidings to come for you. That's what that is. Remember, 3 knocks. You get 3 knocks, see who it is. You get 2, don't go there. Back up. That one's pretty simple. That goes under omens and signs.
David has a question.
Yeah.
He says, "Hey Z, any ideas or tips for a tattoo idea? I've been wanting to get one. The last one I got was the Sri Yantra. I'm looking for something new but spiritually useful. Any ideas?" Yeah, protection symbol.
Protection symbol that I gave to you before on Om. In your case, in your things, I would recommend something protective, like the protection symbol. Pyramid of Power. You might look at that. That's just my suggestion. But If you don't want to do that, then find something that actually says you.
He says, I was looking for something specific to me, maybe just some suggestions.
Well, think of a symbol, something that symbolizes who you are. I mean, you see mine and my other one, but you can do a lot of other things. You just find something that suits you. If you want me to design something for you, I can do that. I'm really good at designing symbols. And it would fit you. A lot of people can't really figure out design, so they always have someone do it for them.
Yes. Lucia says, Ahura, that same day I was hiking, and after the yellow butterfly flew to my forehead, then over my head, I had 2 other yellow butterflies fly close to me in the same hike. They went to different parts of my body, and I don't remember which parts, but do you draw meaning? Also, do you know what project is being started that I should get help with? Thank you.
Well, the project hasn't revealed itself just yet. You'll have to wait for that. But there's 3 other things, which basically means it'll be a group project. Okay? That means there'll be some other people that help you out with that project. Many minds. And it will be something that has to do with the group. So you'll have to wait for that. When it comes to time and the universe, the time and the workings of the universe are often at odds with each other because linear time is something that man needs. It's not something that the universe needs. So you'll have to wait for that for a second. It could happen today. It could happen tomorrow. It could happen next week. You just have to wait for it. But it's good that you're paying attention. So I hope that helps you out. What else?
Guest 422 says, question, every
Sure.
time I wake up in my bed, there's a black mark on my ceiling that comes down towards me, and right as I'm about to grab it, it appears back on the ceiling. Why does this happen outside of my meditation?
Because you're probably halfway in and out of your body. And because of that, the awareness that is going on inside while you're halfway outside is a little different from what's going on the inside. See, our physical perception is one thing. If we were halfway out of our body, everything might look entirely different. It may even be entirely different. Remember, there's so many different dimensional realities next to this one. This is only one out of perhaps billions. And you may have clicked into just part way into another state of awareness and saw what things really looked like. Okay. And then when you pop back, they were totally different. So that should help you out. Remember, it's just a dimensional reality that you're living in.
David says, yeah, would you mind? It might be a minute before I get one, but I've been thinking about it for a while now.
Sure, I'll be happy to design one for you. Not a problem. I hope that helps you out. You guessed what?
422. What are you doing? Stop. Okay.
Oh, look, we're on the TV. Look.
I'm not looking. I know we're on the TV.
Okay, what else have you got for me?
That's all I have for now.
Well, you guys are being a little quiet this evening again. Like I told you, you guys should write your questions down so that when you come out with them, I have all of these answers for you. I hope that you've had all of your questions answered so far to your satisfaction. What are you looking at?
I don't even know how to operate that website.
You're not supposed to be operating any website right now.
I'm operating this website. There are no questions.
Okay, so if there's something that you want to know about, and you think of a question during the week and you don't want to forget about it, you can always just email us and type out the question, and I'll address that question on the show. Well, that reminds me, I think Charlie's coming up on Friday.
What?
Yeah. Charlie is coming up on Friday, so we can film. So I can film her part.
Next Friday. She said the 28th.
No, she did not. She did not. You are wrong. 21st. Thou art senile in thy young age.
Yeah, because I have to remember too many other things. Co asks a question. What do you think of this Mandela effect? Is it fake?
No, I don't think it's fake. I think it's a distraction. They call it the Mandela effect, though. I think that systematically people are going around and changing things, minute things, like, minuscule things that they believe is insignificant, and people are missing them, but they don't really think about it. It's almost a form of programming. You know, what you do is you change little bits of things all around so that the mind accepts them, and then it enables you to change bigger things later. So no, I don't think it's fake at all. Sorry. I think it's very, very valid. But you have to find a way to nail it down.
Lucia says, I almost stepped on a snake in the same hike. It was riled up under my feet in the path. Do you draw meaning from this?
Yes, it means for you to step carefully, whatever it is that you're doing. No, seriously, that's what that means. That means that you're on a path that's a little bit dangerous, and you need to watch where you're stepping. That's what it means mentally, you know, as well as physically. Watch where you're stepping. Sometimes we get a little too rushed in trying to make things happen, and you wind up putting yourself in danger. So if that helps.
That's it for now.
Is that it for now?
That's it for now.
So you all should watch these shows that I've recommended to you. These are some shows that you can watch where you want to get to know people, and you can have these days where you just binge on a TV series. There is Stargate. There is Stargate Atlantis. Not the later Stargate Atlantis. That's pretty crappy. There is Dark Matter. There is the best show ever, which is called Farscape. Okay? It is the best series that has been made so far. Okay, you have to watch Farscape. There's also Battlestar Galactica. That's okay. Of course, there is the first season of Gladiator. What was it? Spartacus. And there's Deep Space Nine, which is an excellent show. I tried watching the other, like Voyager, and I just couldn't get into it. Couldn't. Let's see, what else is there? There is, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones. Now, you have to bear with Jessica Jones. It starts off a little slow, but then it gets a lot better. It does. It gets a lot better. So I had to cuss Marvel out because I didn't want to like the show, but I did. Jessica Jones.
Tavari sent a picture of an enormous ape-like creature. Little old lady heard something in the yard and set up a camera trap and found these photos. Would you like to look at them?
Sure.
Skunk ape photographs.
Skunk ape. That's what they call Bigfoot. Mm-hmm. But that just looks like a silverback.
Or a person in a costume.
That could be it too. That's a good costume.
They're comparing it to an orangutan.
Well, we're looking at different pictures of apes. And some of them look fake, some of them don't. For all of you cryptozoologists out there, that is looks like it's a rendition of Bigfoot.
Co says, thank you, Z.
You're very, very welcome. Anytime. Well, let's see. You guys are being really quiet. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to end the show. I'd like to thank you all for joining us on Ask the Unicorn. Remember to tell people about the show. Tell your friends about the show. The more that are watching, the more questions I get.
Oh, David has a question.
Sure.
He says, so Z, before I joined the military, I had a dream that the world was being infested by demons. There was an attack going on, and I had to run into help. I had to run in to help, but battle it. I'd always felt there was a purpose for me, and I believe I'm on that current path. Do you see the dream as a prophetic dream or a metaphor for something else? How would you interpret it?
Well, you're in the military right now, right? So I might see it as prophetic and metaphoric. So when you started learning with me, it was on the premise that one day you'd be able to do psychic police work. So, and that's serving the universe. So what that's telling you is that you need to get back into that practice or get back into that thought. So whenever you're ready, we can get on with your training.
That's it.
Awesome. As I was saying, thank you for joining us on the show this evening. We really appreciate your presence. And hopefully we'll be able to do more and more shows and maybe improve them once we get, better equipment and so forth, so that we can actually have guests be here on the show. And, Kazi made puppets, by the way.
Oh my God, my puppets. Yes, I did.
Yeah. And we'll be putting out a music video very soon. It's called That's Boinked Up. And that's going to be pretty funny. But once again, thank you for joining us on the Ask the Unicorn. If you're interested in taking classes, and that's everything from healing class to paranormal investigation, mysticism, and psychic self-defense, please contact us at www.unicorn-cove.com. That is Unicorn Cove School of Metaphysics. Or you can give us a call or hit us up here at www.asktheunicorn.com or give us a call at area code 207-347-5686. And if you have the opportunity, come to Daily Bread Bakery. Okay, that's right on 131 Ossipee Trail West, and that's in Standish, Maine. You can sit there and I can talk to you about spiritual things, and you can have some coffee and a cinnamon roll or whatever it is that we are having that day, and have a really good time. And we could use the business, because we have Aroma Joe's down the street, and really seriously, I want all of the people to come to my bakery and start Aroma Joe's out. Okay then. So once again, thank you all. I hope you have a beautiful week. Okay, and for those of you that have had a rough week, it's over. Let it be over. And have a positive week. I will see you all next week, same time. Till then, Unicorn out. Peace.